Can I taste your juice?
Well, I mean, I took a look at your Z80 Pro a long time ago.
That was a great review.
And
That was a great review. There were thumbs up, there were thumbs down,
Yeah.
you know. And it was at a time when you were, that was really your first rebuildable.
I think the Odysseus might have been my first one.
I don't consider that to be a rebuildable.
The Zap, the Zap was definitely my first Genesis.
Your first Genesis stuff, yeah. So that was your first, and you had to overcome in that getting used to mesh and coils, and you know, I mean, a whole new way of looking at things, a whole new way of doing.
Draw was the big one for me on that.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah, this is way too tight for me.
Now I'll interview you. It's time for me to interview you. Remember when you said it's too open?
Yeah, and I said it was too open the first time I tried it, and the first time I tried it was at your vape meet at the studio or whatever you have.
Yeah. And it was too open. Too open. Way too open.
Way too open.
Yeah, and then you got a Zap. Way too open. Way too open. And then we did an experiment with the tape and poking holes in it and all that kind of stuff, and it was like, oh, wait a minute now. You know,
it's open for a reason.
It's open for a reason.
Yeah, the draw. Right?
2 years ago, my little 1/16 of an inch hole was too big for everybody. Okay, it's a great device, but it's too airy. It's too open. It's this and that. It's 2 years later. It's a pretty good device, but you got to drill the hole out to get. You know, I went from defending it being too big to defending it being too small. You know. And I said back then, the day will come when you get that this is the right size hole for this device. Yeah. And it's amazing that the way the Chinese approached the Genesis atomizer when they came in, they listened to everyone's complaint that mine was too open.
Right. Yeah.
And they brought it out with a stiffer hole, and everyone drilled it out.
Yeah.
And here's what happened. When they started drilling them out, they started realizing it got better when they drilled it out.
Yeah.
More vapor, more, you know, everything. Right. And then they said, let's see what happens if we go bigger. And the experimenting started, and now mine's considered a little tight.
Yeah.
So what once was ridiculously open is now a little stiff. Crazy.
Isn't that unbelievable?
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming because it was the right solution for most people.
Right.
And everybody that has never had a Genesis style atomizer starts out, says it's too open, and then they get used to it, and everything else is too stiff now. All the stuff they used to love is way too stiff. Crazy, isn't it?
Yep.
It's crazy. I mean, airflow is everything.
Yeah, I've come to learn that.
Airflow is everything.
Yeah, I know.
2 years ago I said airflow is everything.
I know. Everything was air. It was all about air, and I've definitely come to realize that it affects not only the quality of the vape, but with certain atomizers a lot as to what's going on in there.
Yeah.
So I think we should take a closer look at the ZNA, the packaging.
Sure.
I want to see the serial number. Then maybe we can take a walk around the lounge and what will be the shop. Well, not the shop. The shop's in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Or the what is your retail space? Is that?
That's just the showroom.
Showroom?
Yeah.
So will people be able to buy Zen product there?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole idea of this location, it's really a destination for people that want to check out what the products are, as well as be able to get some things that you can't get anyplace else.
Okay.
You know, we're going to have a lot of one of a kinds, and limited to the showroom type pieces. Plus the ability to mix and match in a way that the different colors of coats. In a way that you can't do in any practical way online yet. We're working on a way to do that online, but
and when they come here, they could potentially see something being prototyped. So this isn't your this isn't your manufacturing. This isn't where, I mean, assembly happens here.
Assembly happens here, prototyping happens here, but we've also been we've been doing actual production on our mouthpieces here. We don't call them drip tips because you don't drip with it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But we've been doing production on the mouthpieces here. We did about half of the turned parts for the ZNA here.
Okay.
The manufacturing burden on us to get ZNA going was massive. We're running 4 vertical mills. You know, this body is a ridiculous thing to make.
Yeah,
It's a ridiculous
it's
thing.
definitely a departure from kind of what you, I mean, the Sidewinder is, we'll say similar. A little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little.
In that it's side by side.
And that it's side by side.
But I mean, a regulated device is definitely out of what you've been involved with.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But this one was a pretty attractive project to me because it really, 2 things. It demonstrates, you know, how far you can go with Z2. Okay.
Right.
The ability to be able to add this to any existing Z2 PV that you already have, whether I made it or Steam Monkey or somebody else who's coming out with one. This is fully compatible with that, and
Right.
and it demonstrates that ability, because the difference between this PV and the mechanical is that component right there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's got Z2 thread there, it's got Z2 thread there, hangs off the side. So, you know, it does so.
Keep that apart.
Yeah.
Because I want to show people the stickers and the labels and everything on the inside there. As a matter of fact, maybe we'll take a closer look now. Is that good?
Yeah,
or?
we can. This particular one doesn't have a serial number sticker on it because
Okay.
because this particular one failed. This one failed muster as far as finish goes.
Okay.
So it's got a sticker on it,
But no serial number on the sticker.
but no serial number on it.
Okay.
There is a serial number on the board, but
Right, and we could show people that
yeah,
too.
we can show.
All right, so here's the body, the inside of the body, and we've
Yeah.
got a couple stickers in there.
Yeah, this sticker down here normally would say would have the serial number right across there.
Okay.
And this one here is actually on the inductor of the board. So if you and these are tamper-proof stickers. If you pry this thing open, you'll ruin the sticker, and therefore we'll know that you were in there.
Okay.
This is not user serviceable parts in here.
Okay.
And it goes together like a Chinese puzzle. Have fun with that. But you know, we don't want people doing board changes. You know, let's say they got a dead board somewhere and they want to stick it in here and take advantage of a warranty or something like
I
that.
see, right.
So that
Well, that
prevents
makes
all that. So anyway, that's the back side of it. And to you know, to turn it into a PV, you just put a battery tube on there, battery cap. That's the guy right there.
So go ahead and put a battery in there because the serial number shows up in another place too.
So to demonstrate, so when you turn the PV on, and it turns on, it shows Zen ZNA. We'll do that one more time.
Yeah.
It shows Zen ZNA, and then the serial number is directly below that.
So the serial number is actually built onto the board.
That's correct.
So there you go. So it says Zen ZNA, and it gives the serial number.
That's correct. Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
And Brandon was able to do that for you.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you order a lot of boards what can be done.
Brandon's policy has always been he'll put anything you can afford in his in it. You know, I asked for the serialization on there pretty early on because people have wanted serials. I don't like putting a lot of graffiti on the PV, you know, with that sort of stuff. So that was a logical place to put it, and more importantly, it gives me the ability to tell if somebody's changed a board out or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So
So show me the packaging.
yeah, the packaging. Yeah, when you buy one of these, what you get, I'm proud of this box. It's just a plastic box, right? It's made in America. It's an American plastic box.
I know how you feel about
You know how hard that is to do?
It's probably very, very hard.
This is actually made by Flambeau. They make tackle boxes and all kinds of
Oh,
stuff
yeah, yeah.
over in Ohio. This box was custom made for us. So when you get it, it's in there. It's a nice velvet It's upside down. It's a nice velvet, die cut foam insert. Ships to you with a 490 tube and a Z2 to 510 adapter.
Okay. So this is the standard version, right?
This is the standard version,
And
yeah.
the price on the standard version?
$279.
$279.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people have asked, can you buy it without the body tube and the
Sure,
510
because people
connector?
who might have a Z2.
And the answer is, at this point in time, no.
Okay.
The original target price on just this part right there,
Right.
original target price was $250.
Okay.
Without anything, right?
Well, obviously the board in there too.
Well, the board, yeah, that's
board.
part of the PV. But the original target price for the add-on was $250. And then I realized I really can't sell this for $250, so I had to raise it up a bit. My original commitment was I want to be between $250 and $300. I think that's what I told you right from the start.
Yep.
But so I kind of split the uprights there and went to $279. And when I did that, I said, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in the body tube and the 510 connector. So now a lot of people, well, how much is it without it? I'd happily sell you one for $279 without it. I'm not really charging you for those,
Right.
and if I am, it isn't much.
Now, do you have the limited here as well?
Yeah, I can show you the limited.
Okay, and now these are all spoken for at this point.
Yes, these were the minute. Well, first of all, I have retailers. The retailers own them.
Right.
From the time that I say I'm making it, these don't belong to me. I make them, I ship them to the retailers, they take it from there.
Okay.
You can't buy one directly from me except perhaps a factory second here at the store.
Okay.
There won't be factory firsts here at the store.
Okay.
Because the online guys get all of them.
Okay. I'm gonna get my PV so I can. All right, I'm gonna look at this. Who are your stores? Who are the vendors that are carrying this right now?
Right now, okay, so for the standard version, they are available from Electronic Sticks, both their online and all four of their brick and mortars. They're available in a Steam Monkey edition through steammonkey.com
Okay.
with a brass body tube and his little monkey on it. Yeah,
Okay. And so this is the limited edition.
so this is the limited edition, and the limited edition is in gunmetal and antique bronze Zen coats.
It's a gorgeous piece.
Isn't that pretty?
It really is.
So that's what that's all about.
So now, which pieces on that PV are Zen coated?
All of them.
The whole thing is
Everything.
Zen-coated.
Everything.
And this is actually great because this is going to lead us into our little Zen coat talk and
Yeah.
demonstration.
Yep.
Perfect.
So that's the limited edition.
Now, if you were lucky enough to get this one, what was the price on that one?
$320.
$320.
Yeah. Yep. So it's basically $40 more.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of money.
Not really. And again, it's just she's sexy.
It is.
That's a
It
very,
is,
very
Mike, it
sexy
really
PV.
is. Yeah.
So that's the launch day limited, which unfortunately will probably be out on the streets about a week after launch day.
What did you call it? You had a name for it.
The flipper.
The flip.
Yeah. If I had the time, we would put dolphins on the bottom. And I still might figure out how to do that. If I had the time, I would definitely put dolphins on it because everybody's going to flip these.
So you mentioned the vendors.
Oh yeah.
If somebody, go ahead.
Yeah, I left out a few. So Steam Monkey, we'll have him online. He doesn't have a brick and mortar. Central Iowa E-Cigs has 3 locations. They will have the standard PV.
Okay.
And they will have a very small number of the limiteds, and I'm certain you don't stand a chance of getting, and nobody stands a chance of getting one of those from there probably because they probably have their preferred customers that they promised them to. Plus Sky Vapor in Everett, Washington.
Okay.
Is also going to have them.
Now, if you're really interested in one, you're going to go to these vendors. How far out do you think it's really going to be for somebody right now who wants one to get one?
I'm not going to guess. We're shipping PV. In fact, when you got here, we were just in the process of putting some out the door today.
Yeah.
We're shipping PVs daily, and we're FedExing them down to the retailers. be patient. You know, don't buy one from a flipper. There's one, you're going to be able to get one.
Right.
Just relax. Let's not obsess. Let's get going here and enjoy the vape you've already got. You'll be able to get your hands. We're picking up steam on production. You know, there's the demand for it is huge. We really think it's worth the wait. The people that have gotten some in their hands already think it's worth the wait. They're loving it. So far, all the feedback's been good as far as the device goes. All of the criticism has been about you know, the waiting, you know,
Sure.
the waiting for it, and the F5ing and the, you know, this and that, and it's, you know,
The F5ing.
F5ing. Yeah, you don't know about F5ing?
Should I?
Sitting on a website, hitting F5, F5, F5,
Oh,
F5.
waiting for it.
Waiting for it to show
become
up so you
available, I
can
see.
buy it.
Okay.
People complaining there weren't enough of them. I got it in my shopping cart, and then it got snagged up by somebody else who processed checkout first,
okay.
and all that. So, you know, basically it's going to come down to relax, slow down.
Right.
It's coming. They're out. They're slowly shipping. You know, the ones, so far they've hit websites. Steam Monkey did a pre-sale, which he shouldn't have done because he doesn't have his PVs yet. And he sold out the quantity that he had allocated in about 2-3 minutes. And the first ones that went up on electronics sold out in 9 seconds.
Unbelievable.
And then the next ones lasted upwards of a minute. Just
keep checking.
well, just come back in a week. No, really. I mean, it's the obsessive nature of this. You know, I'm the same way when an iPhone comes out. You know, I mean, I check every day. You know, but I don't take days off to go get one.
So we were actually back here, and you were showing me how a ZNA comes together and how it's assembled. And I said, "Hey, Mike, can I shoot this? Can you show me the parts?" And you said, "Sure."
Sure, no problem.
So here's the parts.
So here's the parts. So yeah, this is the DNA 30 board.
Yep.
This one happens to be serial number 104 because when we first get these in, we test fire the board to get the serial number off of it and make sure that it works, and we test fire that on a fixture so that we know that we're not building a PV around a broken board.
Right,
Because things can happen in shipping.
Sure.
So the body of the ZNA. Oh, I left a part out.
Uh-oh. Go get that last part.
I gotta get it.
I know which part it is, too.
Oh, it's the oh Jesus part.
It's the part that holds everything together, right?
It is. It's the part that holds everything together.
Yeah.
So, there it is.
There it is.
Okay, so what the way the PV is built is you've got this cavity here, and we put in the 2 switches. Okay, and we put a polyethylene wear layer over the switches down here because these switches don't like having metal come against them. So that's not in this, but before this gets assembled, that gets put on there. So this gets put down into here. Put the 2 buttons in first. Slide the screen into there, and get that wire up through there. And there's another wire that comes down from the top, and so this all drops into there. After that's in place, this guy here, and by the way, we'll put the Zen Authentic sticker on that too before it goes in. Then this guy comes over here, and this is a tight press fit, okay? And that press fits down into it. I can't do it without permanently doing it.
Right.
So this guy comes in, it's machined to pretty tight tolerances so that it'll go down and hold everything in place.
What, no hot glue?
No hot glue in this.
That's
no.
upsetting.
We tried to find a place where we could put hot glue in the PV, but it just wasn't in the cards.
Okay.
Hot glue would have been a little easier because we could have just put all that in there and then just squirt a bunch of hot glue in the back there.
Right.
Maybe stick a tube into it to get the shape. You know, and then we would have been there. But we find, you know, it's much more satisfying to machine this part.
Okay.
This part here was actually machined right over on that mill that I showed you earlier.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So after that's in place, then we start assembling the top section of it, which is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 parts in the top section. And of those parts, several of them are made right here in the shop here. And the way this all comes together here is this guy goes into there, this guy goes into there, this guy drops down into there, like so. By the way, guys, this is not a tutorial on how to take it apart. This guy goes over that. This guy goes in here. Then we put our battery reverse protector in there. Washer to keep things tight. And then assemble that together. And once that's in there like that, that body part, this body part, I've said it assembles like a Chinese puzzle a couple of times.
Yeah.
That body part can't come out.
That's it at that point.
Once that's in there.
Okay.
Okay. So tighten everything that down to a given torque spec, and that's all good to go. Now the spacing, you'll notice here that there's a little bit of a. Let me grab a tool because this is kind of fun.
Okay.
Because it shows you how much goes into some of this. Now we're bringing out the custom tools for this job. Because to build this, we've got custom tools. So this guy here, we start tightening that up. And again, we're assuming that there's a board in there.
Right.
We start tightening that up. Bring this custom tool here, which sets up the space for the body tube to ensure that there's enough clearance here for the tube to be able to fit in.
Okay.
This is a custom tool that fits into that up there. This then fits right down through there, and you tighten the whole thing up. Take that back off of there, and now we have this part here where we can solder the positive lead for the DNA board. This guy right here pops right off, ensuring the correct spacing so that the body tube can go on and have room to be able to thread on easily.
Right.
Because without that, it could be up, down. It sets up the alignment for this. So at that point, you do have a spring in the bottom here that can carry 12 amps of current, by the way.
Okay. Good.
And it will collapse if you give it too much.
Okay.
Okay. Doesn't collapse much, but it collapses enough to break the connection.
Okay.
And from there, up in here, you got another wire that's coming out up here. This guy gets soldered to it. Okay. Don't take this upper section apart, guys. You won't get it back together easily. That little spring right there guarantees pressure against the back of this so that it can come up and hit your Z2 connection.
Okay.
So that pops down to there. Then this guy threads right onto there. Down. And then this guy pops into here, like so.
That's when that happens, okay.
And then the pin comes in from the side. It gets put in with a press. Once it gets to that far, it needs to be pressed in. So once that's pressed in, it's built. Now, I just did that in 45 seconds or a minute or something like that.
How long does it really take?
When you're actually assembling it, it's closer to about 10-12 minutes.
Okay.
Because there's test points along the way, make sure the board's still firing, all that kind of thing. So, but that is the assembly of it. There's a lot of parts in this PV.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-shit device, huh?
Yeah, well, and the other thing is there's not a lot of kludging going on. You know, it's all precisely fit parts that all serve a purpose and designed for a good fit. Takes custom tools to put it together and take it apart, which is why I really recommend you don't ever take apart the head section of this, because unless you have this, which has the exact right amount of threads that come down and lock to this part here at exactly the right part, then this screw here can't come down and hit the right distance, because this comes in and literally hits the other side. And if this part here is too long, it won't let you set that. And if you don't have this, when you go to set that screw, you'll just rip the wire right off of this. So it takes the tools to take it apart and put it back together. So I highly recommend against taking it apart, because there's really nothing you can service anyway.
I wouldn't want to do it.
Well, people have the tendency to take these things apart.
Yeah.
And without this tool, it really wouldn't be properly put back together. But anyway, those are the parts of a ZNA. This part here and this part here are, and you've held the PV in your hand, you feel what the switch feels like.
Yeah.
I mean, the action on this is just, I think, exceptional. It's light, but it's not wimpy. I mean, it feels right.
It feels substantial.
It feels substantial. And the other thing is the range of places where you can hit this is very high. And we spent some time...
This we talked about.
Yeah, we spent some time talking about where you could hit it, and you wanted to be able to hit it up there. That's cool, but we're good solid. You can fire it all the way up to the midpoint of the arch. Yeah. You'll learn the action up there. It's a little different, but the first time you saw one, it was very difficult to push that, and now it's feather light. So that's how the ZNA goes together.
Cool. Well, that was unexpected. All right, we got
there you
that.
go. Little bonus.
Nice.
Those
Very
are-
cool.
yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe what we could do is, before we head back to talk about Zen-Co, what's going on here? What are you doing? What are you building here?
This is my vape lounge. This is my little vape
This is
lounge.
kind of sexy, Mike. I'm not going to lie to you.
Glad you like it.
Look at
Glad
this.
you like it.
Okay, so he's got some fireplaces on the wall here. We've got a big screen TV. We've got some comfortable seating. This is where we were just sitting.
Yeah,
We
little
got
granite table there.
Granite table, very nice.
Genuine real rock.
You got some bar stools here, and this is the cool thing.
Yeah.
Is that you can see through, and you can see some of the machining, or some of the machines, and the kind of the prototype room, or what you're using to manufacture your mouthpieces.
Yep.
Okay, so what is that big machine over there?
That's a Haas VF2 vertical mill.
I know everybody knows what that means.
Vertical mill, VF2 vertical mill. What that guy does is it comes down and it cuts metal. It takes blocks of metal and turns them into these bodies, actually.
Okay.
That's all that. What that has is tooling that comes down and runs back and forth and runs down through there and runs down. It does all of these shapes here that are cut onto this body are made on a machine like that, if not that exact machine.
Okay.
Some of the operations for the manufacturing of this was done on that machine, and then there's 3 more of those over at the main shop.
Okay.
The cycle times on these bodies are ridiculously long. It takes nearly 30 minutes of machine time to make one body.
Wow.
Okay. And so when people are saying that the price is high, go ask how much 30 minutes of mill time costs plus materials. Plus, to get the cycle time to that, almost every tool on it is a custom-made cutter, because some of the shapes and such are built into the cutters. So they're not just straight ball-on mills. There's specific arcs and radiuses and that sort of thing. Okay. So I mean, it's a complex part to make. When we get in the back, I'll show you what the inside of it looks like, unassembled.
Cool. And that machine there?
That is a bar feeding lathe.
Yes, I have one of those. No.
Do you?
No.
They're really handy.
I bet they are.
So I'm not sure which. Yeah, I see what you're pointing at there. Yeah, that's a Haas ST10. That's an American-made. By the way, the VF2 is American-made too. That's an American-made machine. It's a simple lathe, not an expensive one. That's equipped that way. It's anybody could get one of those for about 75 grand plus shipping.
There you go.
That does turned parts, in other words, cylindrical parts.
Okay, so tubes.
Tubes. Right. It'll make tubes, it'll make mouthpieces, it'll make threaded parts, it does all sorts of things. And it sits there churning out parts all day long.
Cool.
There's a machine back over there.
Oh.
That's the one, yeah. That's actually a CNC mini mill. And what that does is when we have a second op for the mill or a second op for the lathe that needs a re-drill or an engraving or something like that, we do that on that machine.
Cool. So it sounds like you know what you're talking about. I mean, this isn't all smoke and mirrors, is it?
No, this is...
Or vaping mirrors.
It might be, but...
So,
no,
I mean, that's a cool... I love that. I love that you can come here and you do have that, like, behind-the-scenes factory look.
Yeah, you can actually, when the vape lounge is open, you'll be able to sit here and watch stuff being made.
That's really cool.
right here, there's going to these bar stools here. There'll be a counter right around this corner here, so you can actually sit here and watch, while you're enjoying a vape or a cup of coffee or something.
That's awesome. All right, so take us through the rest of this.
So yeah, let's go through the rest of the joint.
I so need a guy. You still have a guy. You have a guy proudly.
I got the mini me. There it is. So over here, I have a corner.
There's nothing here yet.
Nothing in it. Still deciding what's going to go in there. Got some. Nothing to look at. You can show the sofa.
The sofa's beautiful. Oh, that's right. We can look at the sofa.
It's so fun.
My camera bag on the sofa.
Nice, comfortable sofa.
It does look very
Sit down and
comfortable.
relax.
Nice.
Got a little artwork that I did up there on the wall.
You did that. Look at you. He's an artist too.
That's called. I see it now. It's a tree.
That's exactly what I was going to call it.
That's
too.
what it's called.
Unbelievable. You got some lighting up there. You
Yeah.
got some trusses. Oh, and by the way, you don't have them lit yet, but up there.
Hang on. I'll run back and light them up.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'll give you a second.
All right. We'll check this out. All right. So we're lit up.
So let's. Yeah. You can
Check this out.
You can show the.
That's really cool.
Yeah. When I was putting those. You stopped by one day when I was just putting those up.
Yep.
And you said, "Yeah, now you're just showing off."
Well, I said for somebody who doesn't like to be called Zen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And you machined all those yourself, obviously.
Yeah. And then I wanted to. When I was back there, I converted this into
Jesus.
machine
Christ.
shop at night.
All right. Yeah, you're just showing off now, for sure. But that's hot.
Yeah. So that's what machine shop at night looks like.
This has become like your playroom a little bit.
A little bit.
Have you always like dreamed of something like this? I mean, is it beyond your wildest expectations at this point? It is.
Yeah. No, nothing like this had ever really been on the radar.
Right.
Yeah. This has been. I mean, I'm very. I'm a lucky man, really, if you think about it. I mean, people. What I did a couple of years ago resonated with people, and it's continued to resonate. And it's I'm blessed. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity. It's not on camera here, but as people were leaving here and we were talking, you're going to edit that stuff out, I'm sure. But those are employees. Those are people that
you employ people.
Yeah, those are people that come here and and get to buy houses and have babies and the stuff that having a job enables. And it's really satisfying, to be in a position to help create that. And it's and as of January 1st, for the first time ever, I have a job here. Because I didn't work, I didn't draw anything out of this company until January 1st of this year. So, because it was, all the money went into building it,
Sure.
all the money went into getting to this point. So it's definitely, this is a good thing.
All right, and then here we're showing off a little bit more. You built these beautiful lit cases here.
Yep.
Right, and you're going to be showing some of your product, probably old and new, like a little bit of a.
Yeah, there'll be a little retrospective over here on this wall that has nothing on it now.
Okay, that's where you'll see.
That's going to be sort of a museum case.
Oh, cool. And these will be your current products.
This will be current product over here,
Right down to the digital picture frame.
which is crooked and not mounted yet.
That's okay.
But yeah, there's going to be
thumbs down. It's crooked.
yeah. There's going to be digital picture frames that tell the story of what's in each case.
That's cool.
So there's never going to be a situation where a customer is or a visitor. That's what we call them. There's never going to be a position where a visitor gets misinformation from somebody. It'll be, this is the information. And it's right there. And the other thing is, if you spin around here and look at what's here, there's no counters here.
No, I noticed
Okay.
that. Right.
Because you're never going to be in a position here where you've all been in a store where you got, the sales guy here and the counter there and you're over there, and it's this confrontational thing. This is we get to stand next to each other and engage with each other and talk about what's in here and talk about what it all does and how it all works and what it means. So So the whole idea is more of a less threatening, sort of a thing. Plus, it's from my perspective, this is the way to look at a product. You put it up there, you light it properly, you can see what it looks like, and maybe the visitor can imagine owning it. So it's really about showing things in that way. So
What's your estimated opening?
February 1st.
February 1st.
Yeah, February 1st. I finally drew the line and said that's when I'm opening.
Yeah, because I know we talked, and I know you are behind schedule.
Yeah, I was hoping to have it open by now, but
I'm sure people are waiting on their ZNAs.
yeah, they would like that. They would like that more.
But I'm sure you would like this more.
I want this to come together. I've been working on this a long time, and there hasn't been a major push on it to get it done until just recently, because now it's turned into I want it to be done.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to be, to be here. So
Will Zen be the only line carried in the shop?
actually, no. But it will be the majority of what's sold in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
I do intend to carry Jazz Cardo pipe and a version of them modified to take the Z2 atomizer.
Oh, cool.
So that's coming. I'm doing a collaboration this year with Matt Wellman from E-Pipe Mods. And we're going to be working together on a product, and that will be available here as well. It would not be the place to come to buy an Ego, even though we will have a couple back there if somebody comes by and this isn't the right thing for them. We do have a couple of sort of comically packaged Egos.
And that's not to say anything bad about anybody, using an Ego. That's
No.
just not what you choose to carry.
Well, it's just not really who we are.
Right.
It's not really who we are. And the other thing is, when I first conceived of opening this, there were no vape shops in Rochester.
Yeah.
And now they're
popping up all
they're
over.
popping up everywhere. So I don't want to step on their deal. I just want to have a shop where people can get the stuff that we make. I want to make it available so that they can come by and get a factory second that's got a scratch or a ding or something like that, but they don't mind because they know they're going to scratch it or ding it themselves. The problem is you can't sell that stuff online.
Sure, it's got to be perfect.
You have to see it. You have to say, yes, I can live with that blemish, or I can't. So people will be able to get blemished goods here, and at pretty significant discounts. So that's sort of the whole idea. I really picture selling more factory seconds than firsts.
Yeah.
Because if you had a chance to buy the stuff, I got a little ding here. I mean, if you saw some of the blemishes that we reject for it, you
I've seen some of them, and
Yeah.
I have actually I've held ones that have blemishes that I can't see, but you've pointed them
Yeah,
out.
I mean,
so,
and
some of them are really minute.
Well, that's the thing is we have a general, and by the way, on occasion some pieces have gotten out of here that have had scratches or dings and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
It does happen. But we do have a general policy that says if anybody at any point in manufacturing sees a blemish that they would not want on a PV, it gets rejected.
Right.
And it goes into the reject pile, and that stuff will eventually become factory second PVs. We could make hundreds and hundreds of factory second PVs right now if we wanted to, just from scratches and dings and
Right.
nothing like a dent, but a blemish.
Okay.
So
This is your bar,
well, this is
or another work in progress.
well, no, this is the beverage bar. We're not doing a juice bar here.
Okay.
You can get a coffee, we do a killer hot cocoa here.
This is the Zen-U, by the way.
Yeah.
I like that, the Zen-U.
I'm not sure. Is that showing up on the camera?
Yeah, and that's gonna make a lot of people laugh right there.
Oh.
Yeah, like I said, for somebody who really doesn't like the term Zen,
Oh, we're just having fun with it now.
Zen-U, I know you are.
Yeah, just having fun with it now. And the sizes of the coffees are in the same as our PVs, Brevis, Medius, Citizen, Altus. Well, if they could do Vente and you know.
You can do this.
We can do this,
Right.
right. It's fair enough. And that's, so yeah, a little place you can sit and enjoy a cocoa or something. And another one of my art pieces. Oh, here you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There he is. Now, do you know how to work all this stuff?
Yeah.
You do. A lot of buttons, man.
Yep.
So this is, we're actually in the machine shop now.
Yeah.
And now you get a little bit of a close-up.
Those are tools. Cutters.
Expensive tools.
Yeah. You got, I'm just gonna turn the lights on for you, we'll leave it at that.
Okay, yeah, that's it. I didn't expect that. All the shavings from the machining.
Swarf.
Swarf, is that what it's called? It has a name, huh?
Yeah, it's called Swarf.
I did not know that.
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
Say goodbye.
And this is the panel that runs this machine here?
No, actually, that's just that's a kiosk computer that we use for quick internet searches, ordering parts, this is just a online piece that we use for pulling up, information in a hurry.
No. What is it? Is that the Zen bottle opener?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is that really the Zen bottle opener?
Yeah.
Because it looks like a bottle opener.
It's a bottle opener. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Amazing, isn't it?
Man, I hate being called Zen. I'm going to make a Zen bottle opener. I'm just busting your balls.
There it is.
All right. And this machine actually feeds the tubes in, right?
Yeah, well, actually, this feeds in solid stock.
Solid, okay.
And we turn it into tubes.
Right.
In a lot of cases, yeah. This is Delrin for making mouthpieces.
Oh, so this will machine Delrin too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This guy here, you load all the stock up in there, and it just feeds it down here and into the machine. In a lot of cases, people are starting with tubing because they don't have the machinery to render it, into tubing. I would almost always prefer to start as solid rod and core it out than start as tubing.
Now, when you do that, this is obviously a lot of scrap.
Sure.
Do you recycle the scrap?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. It goes to a scrap recycler.
Okay, cool.
About once a week.
All right, so let's talk about Zen-Coat.
Sure.
Let's finally talk about Zen.
All right.
We're going to show a little example of how tough this stuff is over here, but let's talk about what it is first. I mean, can you give people the not so technical version of what it is?
There isn't a not so technical version of what it is. Zen-Coat is a nanoparticle that's put on in a particle vapor deposition chamber. So what happens is you evaporate the metal, the coating into vapor in a vacuum chamber, and it goes onto the metal and bonds at a molecular level. So there isn't a non-scientific version of the story. There's lots of things that get put on in vapor deposition, okay? If you've ever built a model car, the chrome that's on the plastic is put on with a process called vapor deposition. And that's actual, vaporized metal that's going on there, okay? But Zen-Coat is based on a formula of nanoparticles. Okay, in other words, it's brand new technology that was developed for the military. It's got a hardness. The Mohs scale, which goes from like 1 to 10. 10 is diamond, 1 is talc. Okay. This has a hardness of 9.89. Okay, it's almost as hard as a diamond. Okay, it's thin. It's a molecule thick.
Wow.
Okay, so it adds no measurable thickness to the material. It just puts a hardened coating on it in a variety of colors. Okay.
How does this compare to, there's another coating that I heard of, a coating that's being used on firearms. I think the Futura is using it.
Yeah, I don't know what Futura is using, but Cerakote is used.
Cerakote, that's it.
Cerakote is used on firearms. It's also, a derivative of Cerakote is, I don't know this, but I think it's a Cerakote that they're using on ProVary.
Oh, okay.
in their colors and stuff. Although they've taken it to a whole new level, those
Right.
guys. You know, have you seen the new fades and stuff that they're doing?
I haven't,
They're
no.
beautiful.
Yeah.
They do a black to white fade that's unbelievable,
Oh,
and a
nice.
green to blue, and a red to something.
I gotta go check it out.
Cerakote is a ceramic coating.
Okay.
Okay. Particle vapor deposition is a metallic coating. Cerakote doesn't conduct electricity.
Okay.
You can tweak particle vapor deposition to conduct electricity really well. In fact, conduct electricity better than the substrate that you put it onto.
Okay.
So that's what we find most attractive about it is the formulas that we're using of it increase the conductivity as opposed to decrease the conductivity. So
Okay.
So you wanted to see me talk about.
Let's get the example.
Yeah, now I have to find where I put the parts. Okay. So this is a gold-plated, 24-karat gold-plated top cap. We're gonna unapologetically destroy it.
Let me come around so I can get a good view.
Let me get a.
Yeah, get your Scotch Brite.
Yeah. So. We're gonna.
It's gone already. Yeah, you basically barely touched it.
Yeah, you barely touch it. You can knock it right off, and it's just pretty much nothing to it.
Okay, so that was gold plated.
Yeah, I'll show
And you applied very little pressure.
Very
with the
little
Scotch
pressure.
Brite.
Yeah, I mean gold is highly conductive, and it's great stuff. And most people aren't going to put Scotch Brite to it and turn it in a lathe, but you can see. But you can see right there, I mean, the gold is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
You know, although that's going to make a really tight, because it left the gold in the Zen, but it'll make a lovely top cap.
That right there, that's worth
Yeah.
money right now.
Yeah. So that is, you know, so I mean, that's how tough gold plating is.
Right, okay.
Or any other conductive plating for that matter. Silver's a little tougher. But this is Zen-Coat.
Okay, now what's the color of that tube for real?
Stainless steel.
Okay, so that's steel. So
Yeah.
that's a gunmetal.
Yeah, that's stainless steel.
Gunmetal Zen-Coat over stainless
Yeah,
steel.
we'll come back to the same machine so,
Go back over here.
so we don't get accused of any
Right. Shenanigans.
shenanigans.
Right.
All right. We'll turn that on. And we'll You bored yet?
And that's still gunmetal.
And it's still gunmetal. Okay, so now let's
And
hit
it's probably hot too.
This is warm, yeah. So now we'll grab a piece of sandpaper.
Sandpaper.
Yeah, here.
Now that gold plating would not have held up at all with sandpaper.
Yeah, you don't even need the lathe to take it off with that. Sandpaper. Getting warm. Touch the metal. So we're heating the metal up, but we're not taking the finish off of it.
It's still gunmetal.
Yeah, it's still gunmetal. Here, we'll take.
Oh, just to prove this, where's that silver tube? You got the silver here. So I want them to see that it truly is, okay? There's the silver, that's what the silver looks like, that's what the gunmetal looks like. So the gunmetal really hasn't even changed color.
No, it's still right there. I'm gonna find a piece of. I got a piece of really coarse sandpaper here. This is really coarse, and I'll be, wow, it's getting real hot. I can knock it off the edge, you know, if you really get in there. You can knock it off of it.
Yeah, you can just start
Just starting to
seeing
see
it come
it,
off the edge
yeah.
there.
But, you know,
Focus, stay on focus. I probably shouldn't touch that. It's gonna be
that's really hot.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
All right, so let's show you what it takes to get that off of there.
Okay,
Pressure filming there, I'll be right back.
so now we got the grinder out. Now we're gonna get the coating off one way or the other.
Yeah.
We're looking for an outlet?
No,
Oh, okay, safety.
you need to put these on.
Okay, I will. All right.
take it off of there. No, it's still pretty much gunmetal. I mean, we cut through it a little bit, but
Jesus.
and you smell it. The smell of metal heat.
Yeah, I can smell metal right.
We'll really try to get it off. That's what it takes to get it off a little bit. So that's what Zen-Coat is all about. So if you think that Zen-Coat isn't tough enough for your PV coating, that's it. I mean, and it stays beautiful. I mean, it's actually. It's science fiction stuff. It really is.
It's cool.
So to fire a vapor deposition chamber, whether it's empty or whether it's full, okay, costs the same amount of money. So if you put one part in there or whether you put 400 parts in there,
Right.
it's going to cost the same amount of money. And it depends on the size of the vapor deposition chamber. But that number is staggeringly large. I don't want to really get into that.
Okay.
I don't really want to get into it, but let's put it this way. If we don't fill a chamber, okay, with 1,000 parts, it could easily end up costing $20–30 a part, even nearly full. It could also cost $1,000 or more dollars a part, not full.
Yeah.
So the cost to fire the chamber is huge.
Do the different colors cost different amounts of money?
No, but they really don't. I mean, there is a difference in the cost to produce those colors, though. Okay, to fire the chamber for sapphire blue costs the same as to fire the chamber for gold Zen-Coat. Okay, the difference is sapphire blue fades through the deposition chamber. So this end of the chamber comes out slightly different color than that end of the chamber.
Oh,
okay. And about 40% of the parts are rejected when you do blue. Okay.
Wow.
So that means that our cost to do blue is very,
That's where
very
your
high.
cost comes in.
Right.
Okay.
It's very, very high because you saw how hard it is to get that coating off of there.
Right.
It can be removed through a chemical process, but it's expensive to remove it. So if you fail, if you get 60% of your parts good or less, then your cost per part is double plus the cost of the parts that you lost. So blue is an expensive one for us to do. In fact, we lost our shirt on sapphire blue. And we invented a second color because there was enough of them that were sort of evenly in a different shade of blue that we called Carpathian blue. And then still there were, some that didn't make it. Antique bronze is expensive to do because it can range.
What's the easiest color?
Gold.
Gold, really?
Gold is the easiest color, yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, gold is the easiest color because these all start as gold, and then it's processes that change it to another color.
Okay.
So gold is the most repeatable. Gunmetal is a tricky one, but it's not nearly as bad as blue. Blue is just impossible.
How about that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, wow, thank you. This was a really cool look at
it's fun. It's fun coming back here.
It is.
I have to come over here to my little grizzly lathe and remove the chuck for safety purposes, because if somebody comes in and turns that on, it will throw it at them.
Right.
So.
Well, you actually had to go to the little boys' room before, and I tried to build a couple PVs without your supervision. And
this one came out pretty good, though. I mean, I can criticize your work slightly. I mean, you did put a gunmetal button on this tube, but it's mismatched. But for a first effort, it's pretty good.
Thanks, I appreciate that. The more fun is going to come is when your employees come in here and they find all of the settings on all of the machines off by just a little bit.
That's why I pay him the big bucks.
So
So you want to see the mouthpieces while we're back there?
sure.
All right. So we got some mouthpieces
got
that
some
are coming out. We've been calling this in-house the Tower, but I don't know if we're going to keep calling it that because somebody else told me that there's another one called the Tower.
I like that. I like the longer mouthpiece.
Yeah, these are, I love long mouthpieces. And so that's what that looks like on there.
Yeah, cool.
And then let's go a little farther here. This one is called the Ionizer because it makes it look like a ray gun.
it does.
Let's call it Ronald. Anyway, Ronald Ray Gun.
Rogers.
Ronald Ray Gun. Yeah. Get it? So that's the Ionizer in Delrin, Tower in Delrin, and then that's the mini Tower.
Where are these available?
Nowhere yet.
Oh, okay.
They're
So
coming.
This is a first look.
Yeah, these are coming. This is the mini Ionizer in black Delrin, and then there they are in white Delrin.
Cool.
I like Delrin mouthpieces, by the way, because they don't have all the lip spooge, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So,
And you are making them in metal too.
yeah, I'll
These
show
are
you.
aluminum?
Yeah, no.
Stainless.
These are 3/16 stainless. Yeah, so that's the mini Tower in stainless, which looks just great on our PVs actually. You'll notice that, you know, our width there happens to
Matches, of
match
course,
that. Yeah, well, you know. If nobody else will do it for us, we got to do it ourselves. So that's the mini Ionizer.
So we've got the ZNA. We've got some new mouthpieces coming out. We've got the Zen bottle opener, which is and
that's coming.
so what's next? What are you not going to tell me?
This is coming.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what's next.
What's next? Well, the next thing is a revamp of Z2. It'll be Z2.2. Seriously. There's a new switch design coming, a new 510 connector coming, and you know, that's hopefully Vape Bash will be that, but we're not committing to that. But hopefully by Vape Bash that'll be out, and that's going to be it's going to be what a lot of people have been asking for, but sort of done the way we want to do it, you know. So that's coming.
Can you give us any more than that?
If you were paying attention over there, you might figure out some of it, but yeah, good luck. Good luck. So that's coming. That's the next thing on the radar. We're working on an extreme duty PV, which is pretty exciting. Our list of criteria, and I'm not going to say when this is going to launch because it's way out, but our list of criteria is for the average non-sub-ohm vapor to be able to leave his car at the trailhead on a Friday afternoon, go hiking all weekend, and Sunday night when he gets back in his car still have charge left in his PV without changing a battery, and have it be waterproof. Have it work to literally be submersed in water and not be destroyed, and a number of other parameters, including operating down to 5 degrees below zero without the batteries screaming for mercy. And you know, there's that sort of ruggedization.
Right. And I think I know a little bit about that one.
Yep.
And we'll talk about that at a future date, I'm sure.
Yeah, and there'll be a lot to talk about with that one.
Yeah, there will be.
There really will be. I put my grip tip back in.
One of those. Good luck.
Yeah, they all look the same. I need the one with the O-ring on it.
Well, I'm gonna leave you to look for that. What else? Closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. It's always fun to do this.
It is.
And,
I enjoy it over
you're
here.
welcome anytime to come by.
Thank you very much.
And this is a place for anybody to stop by once it's actually open after February 1st. We're going to be closed on Sundays and possibly Mondays as far as the lounge goes, but the rest of the time it's fair game. The idea here is to give you, if you want to come see what's going on here, you're welcome to stop by. Nobody
You know, nobody's telling you you can't. And you know, maybe see some production happening. Maybe talk to some of the guys that work here, and you know, have a nice cappuccino. Dan
So
makes
cool,
a good
bud.
cappuccino.
So cool.
So.
Well, on behalf of myself and anybody who watches this channel, it was a really cool look at the behind the scenes of Zen and what's coming and those ZNAs that everybody's arguing over right now. Thank you very much, Mike.
You're welcome.
Can I taste your juice?